Women are
Some
easily
women don't
attracted to
cheat
men who
because they're
know these
missing
things. Ever
love, they
wondered how
cheat
certain
because
men
they're
seem to
addicted to the
constantly get the
chaos,
attention of
the
women,
thrill, the
whereas you're
attention,
usually
and the
stuck,
scariest
on
part,
the first
they
few
don't
dates?
even realize they're doing it until the damage is already done. Let's talk about something that a lot of people are afraid to say out loud, but it needs to be said. There are certain behaviors, certain patterns, and yes, certain types of women who are far more likely to cheat. Not because women are inherently unfaithful, not because men deserve it, but because some women are acting out of wounds they've never healed, patterns they've never broken, and lies they've been telling themselves for years. And if we're honest, if you see yourself in this, it's not too late to change. Let's begin with the first type, the validation addict. This is the woman who needs to constantly be told that she's beautiful, desirable, and wanted not by one man, but by everyone. You'll see her smiling for attention, keeping a roster of men just to boost her ego, even when she has someone loyal at home. Her loyalty is fragile because her self-worth is rooted in how many men still want her. So if you're in a relationship and your love isn't enough to make her feel whole, she'll find someone else to fill that emptiness. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't know who she is without attention. Then there's the revenge seeker. She's been hurt before, maybe by a past partner, maybe even by you, but instead of healing, instead of confronting her pain, she weaponizes it. She cheats to get even. She cheats to prove she can hurt, too. She cheats to feel powerful again, but what she doesn't realize is that her need for revenge is eating her from the inside. She's not finding freedom, she's just reliving the trauma over and over again. Next is the secretly single woman. You know her. She says she's committed, but lives like she's not. Flirting isn't a big deal to her. Posting seductive photos, responding to thirsty DM, entertaining options, she calls it harmless fun. But what she's really doing is keeping one foot out the door, emotionally unavailable, never really all in. The moment she gets bored, she's gone. The moment someone better comes along, she slides into a new situation like the last one never existed. Loyalty isn't her language, options are. Another type, the drama chaser. Peace scares her. Stability feels boring. If the relationship is too calm, she'll sabotage it just to feel something again. She feeds off adrenaline, the kind of woman who picks fights, pushes buttons, creates chaos, and then finds solace in someone else when she feels misunderstood. Her cheating doesn't always start with physical betrayal, it starts with emotional manipulation. She craves emotional highs so much, she doesn't care who she hurts in the process. Let's not forget the opportunist. She's not in love, she's in convenience. She'll stay loyal as long as it benefits her. But if someone comes along with more money, more status, more attention, she's gone. She was never in it for the man, she was in it for the lifestyle. Her heart isn't committed, her interests are, and if those shift, so does her loyalty. But here's the truth, this speech is not just about calling out women. It's about holding up a mirror, because no matter who you are, loyalty starts with character, and character is a choice. Cheating doesn't happen by accident. It starts with decisions you justify, boundaries you slowly
Women
blur,
are easily
and
attracted
needs
to
you
men
don't
who
address
know
in a
these things.
healthy
Ever
way.
wondered how certain
And
men
if you
seem
see
to
yourself
constantly
in
get the
any of
attention of
these
women,
types,
whereas
this is
you're
not the
usually
moment to
stuck,
shame
on
yourself.
the first few
This
dates?
is the moment to grow, to be honest about your patterns, to deal with the roots instead of masking them with attention, revenge, or shallow affection. Because real love, lasting love, doesn't thrive where deception lives. Don't let this be you. Let's talk about something that many people see but few truly understand. There are women who appear confident on the outside, always glowing, always surrounded by compliments, but underneath that surface lies a constant need to be validated. These are the women who are addicted to validation. They don't feel seen unless a man is praising them. They don't feel loved unless it's public. And they don't feel beautiful unless it's coming from multiple sources. You'll notice them often looking for reassurance, not just from their partner, but from strangers, from followers, from exes they keep on the back burner just in case they need a little emotional boost. Their self-worth isn't internal, it's outsourced. So when their partner isn't saying the right things or giving enough attention, they don't ask why they feel empty inside, they just start looking for someone else who will fill the silence. They thrive off attention the way others thrive off oxygen. It's a fix they constantly need. She might not even see it as cheating at first. She tells herself she's just texting, just laughing, just being friendly. But emotionally, she's opened the door, because deep down, she's not loyal to her relationship, she's loyal to the feeling of being desired. Her phone stays buzzing, her Instagram DMs stay active, and she keeps certain numbers saved under different names. When someone new shows interest, she's flattered. She feeds off the chase, the compliments, the newness. And when things go wrong in her relationship, she already has someone lined up, waiting in the shadows, ready to give her that validation she's been craving. She may have grown up never being told she was enough, or maybe she was praised only for her beauty, never her mind or character. Somewhere along the way, she learned that love means being noticed. She learned that value comes from how many men still want her. And even when she's with someone great, even when she's in a good relationship, it never feels like enough. The compliments from her partner don't land the same. His attention starts to feel routine. She needs the high of being admired by someone new. The thrill of knowing someone else finds her irresistible. It becomes a cycle that's hard to break. She doesn't see it as betrayal in the beginning because it's masked as innocent fun or harmless attention. But over time, those tiny compromises turn into habits, and those habits lead to actions that break trust. She might justify it by saying her partner doesn't appreciate her. She might blame it on emotional neglect. But the truth is, no one can fill a void that you haven't learned to fill on your own. No relationship can sustain someone who's constantly looking outward to feel whole. The kind of woman who will cheat isn't always loud about it. She may be smiling, she may be affectionate, but if her sense of identity is tied to how many men want her, her loyalty will always be conditional. It's not that she doesn't want to be faithful.
Women are easily
It's that
attracted
she
to
doesn't
men
know
who
how
know
to
these
be
things.
without
Ever wondered how
constant
certain men seem
reassurance.
to constantly
She's
get the attention
chasing
of women,
something she
whereas
can never
you're
truly
usually
hold
stuck,
the feeling of being
first few
chosen
dates.
again and again, even if it means betraying someone who already chose her. And unless she takes the time to heal that wound, to find her worth outside of male attention, she'll keep repeating the same pattern with different faces. She'll tell herself she's searching for love, but what she's really chasing is approval. And that kind of chase always ends the same way, with broken trust, confusion, and regret. There's a kind of woman who doesn't cheat because she's bored or because she's tempted. She cheats because she's angry. She's the revenge seeker, and when you meet her, you might not see it right away. She might seem calm, even loving, but deep beneath the surface, there's a storm of unresolved pain. She's been hurt, and not just a little. She's been betrayed, disappointed, abandoned, or lied to, and instead of healing, she decided to survive by getting even. To her, cheating isn't just about lust or excitement, it's about reclaiming power. It's about showing that she can play the game too, that she can hurt the way she was hurt. She tells herself it's only fair, that if men can do it and walk away untouched, she can too, and maybe, for a moment, it does feel empowering. She feels in control, she feels strong. She looks in the mirror and says, "I'm not the weak one anymore." But that high doesn't last, because deep down, she's not cheating out of strength, she's cheating out of pain. And pain, when left untreated, always spreads. This kind of woman doesn't always start out vengeful. In fact, she may have once been the most loyal, loving, and giving partner, but repeated heartbreak can turn anyone cold if they're not careful. She becomes guarded, suspicious, defensive, and when she decides to cheat, it's not spontaneous, it's calculated, it's emotional warfare. She may even tell herself that she's teaching someone a lesson, that by cheating she's showing them how it feels to be betrayed, but in reality she's not healing anything. She's repeating the very cycle she claims to hate. The revenge seeker is dangerous not because she's evil, but because she's wounded. And wounded people who don't seek healing will find destruction in disguise. The sad part is, she often regrets it afterward. She feels the weight of her actions. She remembers what it feels like to be loyal, to be true, and she misses that version of herself. But pride won't let her admit it, so she pretends to be okay. She keeps cheating, she keeps justifying, and the wound keeps growing. This kind of woman attracts chaos, not because she wants it, but because it mirrors what she feels inside. She doesn't trust easily. She tests people constantly. She plays mind games not for fun, but to protect herself from being the fool again. And when someone actually tries to love her, she self-sabotages. She pushes them away, or worse, she cheats first, just in case they do it later. It's her way of staying in control, of making sure she's never caught off guard again. But that control comes at a price. She loses the ability to form genuine connection. Her relationships become transactional. Her heart becomes numb, and loyalty becomes something she no longer believes in.
Women are
In her
easily attracted
mind,
to men
love
who
is
know
war,
these things. Ever wondered
and
how
in
certain
war,
men seem to
you
constantly get the
strike
attention
before
of
you're
women,
struck.
whereas
But
you're
what she
usually
doesn't
stuck,
realize
you know,
is
on the
that
first
not
few
everyone
dates.
is out to hurt her. Not everyone deserves to be punished for the mistakes of someone else. And if she never stops to unpack that pain, she'll carry it into every relationship she enters. She'll keep hurting people who didn't cause her wounds. She'll keep cheating not out of desire, but out of fear. Fear that if she loves too deeply again, she'll be shattered. Fear that if she trusts, she'll be betrayed. So she builds walls, wears masks, and calls it strength. But real strength isn't revenge. Real strength is healing. Real strength is choosing to love again, not because it's safe, but because you've learned how to protect your peace without destroying someone else's. There's a woman who walks through life looking committed on the outside, but internally she's already checked out. She's the one who plays the role, says the right things, and keeps up the appearance of being in a relationship. But the truth is, she's emotionally single. Her heart isn't tied down, her mind isn't focused on building with one person, her loyalty isn't rooted. This woman thrives on freedom, but not the kind that empowers growth. It's the kind that avoids accountability. She doesn't see herself as unfaithful because in her mind she hasn't technically done anything wrong, yet her actions say otherwise, the way she talks to other men, the way she entertains flirtation. The way she leaves doors open to possibilities, she claims. She doesn't need, she keeps her options warm, just in case. She doesn't completely cut off old flames. She doesn't remove herself from attention. She may even post like she's single, dress like she's on the market, and act like she's untouched, not because she wants to cheat, but because she's keeping an escape plan, a backup, a safety net. She tells herself she's just being cautious, just enjoying her individuality, but deep down, she knows she hasn't given her heart fully. When things go wrong in her current relationship, she doesn't fight to fix it. She simply slides into the arms of someone who's already been waiting. Someone she's been feeding with attention. Someone she's been emotionally connecting with behind the scenes. She's emotionally detached, not because she doesn't feel, but because she doesn't want to risk being disappointed. So she gives half of herself. She keeps conversations going with people she has no intention of being with. She flirts in comments, replies to DM, saves compliments like currency, and builds emotional intimacy in places she shouldn't. And when she finally cheats, it never feels like a betrayal to her, because in her mind she was never fully committed. Her version of cheating is not obvious, it's subtle, it's secret. It happens in quiet moments, private chats, small decisions that accumulate over time until they lead to something physical. What makes this woman so hard to spot is how normal she appears. She could be laughing with you, making plans for the future, holding your hand in public. But if you look closely, you'll notice the signs. Her phone is always on silent. She hides certain parts of her day. She's vague about the people she talks to. She gets defensive when you ask questions. She dismisses your concerns as insecurity, not because you're wrong,
Women
but
are
because
easily
she
attracted
knows
to
you're
men who
starting
know
to
these
see
things.
through
Ever
the
wondered how
mask.
certain
She
men seem
values
to
being
constantly get the
desired
attention
more
of
than
women,
being devoted.
whereas you're
The
usually
thrill of
stuck
knowing
with,
that others
first
still
few
want
dates?
her is more emotionally satisfying than the stability of one relationship. And this isn't about being a bad person. It's about never learning how to sit still in love. She's restless. She doesn't know how to stay. She thinks she's protecting herself, but she's really just avoiding vulnerability. Because to be loyal, truly loyal, means choosing someone every day, even when it's hard. It means closing doors that lead to temptation. It means cutting ties that make space for betrayal. And she hasn't learned how to do that yet. She believes that love should always feel exciting, that commitment should never feel routine. And when reality hits, when things slow down, she mistakes comfort for boredom. That's when she starts reaching out. That's when old flings reappear. That's when harmless conversations turn into emotional affairs. She convinces herself she's still in control, but the truth is she's already gone. Her body might be in the relationship, but her heart is somewhere else. And unless she decides to show up fully, to commit with both feet in, she'll continue living a double life, present but unavailable, in love but not really loyal. There's a certain kind of woman who doesn't chase peace, she chases chaos. Not because she's toxic by nature, but because calm makes her feel invisible. She needs stimulation, she needs the fire, and when the fire dies down, she goes looking for sparks somewhere else. This is the woman who can't function without emotional highs and lows. She feeds off drama. She creates arguments just to feel alive, and in the silence of a stable relationship, she starts to feel suffocated. She's addicted to intensity, not intimacy. She doesn't realize that real love is often quiet, often steady, often free from fireworks. To her, if it's not explosive, it's not real. She might pick fights over things that don't matter, accuse you of things you didn't do, push you away, and then beg you not to leave. And in the middle of all that emotional whiplash, there's a secret craving for someone else to come along and give her a new kind of thrill. When things feel too comfortable with her partner, she starts to feel uneasy. She mistakes calm for dullness. She interprets loyalty as predictability. And she tells herself that her emotional needs are not being met, when in truth, what she really misses is the chaos. She's familiar with. This woman doesn't cheat because she's unhappy in the relationship. She cheats because the adrenaline makes her feel desired again, because someone else, someone new, brings back the rush she's been missing. She confuses passion with pain. She grew up equating love with tension, not tenderness. She learned to associate being wanted with being chased, not being chosen. And when her partner stops chasing, when the relationship finds a rhythm, she starts to drift. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't know how to thrive in emotional stability. She thinks love should always be exciting, that the butterflies should never go away. So the moment the relationship starts
Women
to
are
feel
easily attracted
routine,
to men
she
who
tells
know these
herself
things. Ever
she's
wondered how
falling out
certain
of
men
love.
seem to
What
constantly get the
she's
attention of
actually
women,
doing is
whereas
falling
you're
out of
usually
addiction
stuck,
to chaos.
on the first few
But
dates?
instead of recognizing that, she finds herself drawn to someone new who makes her feel seen in a different way. It could be an old friend, a coworker, a random stranger who gives her just enough attention to stir something inside her. She starts venting to this person about her relationship. She opens emotional doors that should stay closed. And before she realizes it, she's emotionally invested, and emotional infidelity often becomes physical. She thrives in emotional confusion, the feeling of not knowing where she stands, the game of wondering if the other person will text back. She says she hates the drama, but deep down she needs it. She feels powerful in it. When the person she's cheating with responds, gives her attention, shows her desire, it confirms her worth in a way that calm love never could. It becomes less about love and more about validation, less about connection and more about control. She doesn't cheat because she stopped loving her partner. She cheats because she never learned to feel love without the presence of chaos she also tends to project. She accuses her partner of doing what she's doing. She creates distance and then blames him for not being close. She becomes emotionally unavailable and says he's the one who doesn't understand her. It's a cycle that repeats, and with every repetition, the damage grows. Her partner starts to feel like he's walking on eggshells. He can't win, he can't relax, he can't just love her. He has to constantly prove it, and even when he does, it's never enough, because she's not at war with him. She's at war with herself, and until she addresses that inner conflict, no relationship will ever feel right. No amount of love will ever be enough. And loyalty will always feel like a cage instead of a choice. So if you see yourself in any of these patterns, this isn't your moment to feel ashamed. It's your opportunity to evolve. Real love doesn't grow in chaos, confusion, or control. It grows in truth, in healing, and in emotional maturity. The kind of woman who stands firm in loyalty doesn't chase drama, she builds peace. She doesn't run when things get calm, she creates depth in the stillness. Because the most powerful version of you is the one who no longer needs attention to feel worthy, chaos to feel alive, or betrayal to feel powerful. You don't have to be her. You get to choose differently.